Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon Don,
I'm Jemay.
And I'm JayTrent.
and today is our last episode of our team reviews, and we will be talking about the Jaylana Dream. They, you know what? I'm gonna let Jay kick us off and talk about how he felt about this season. I ain't even go, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So we start off. Um, the dream, I'm gonna start off with a positive, somewhat. The dream were about middle of the pack in defense. They were the number six defense in the league, which I'm pretty sure um every year of Tanisha Wright's tenure, the Dream were in the top half of the league in defense. So there is like that was clearly her focus when she was hired. So that is a positive. I want to start there. I want to talk about um how well the wings played. It was a little up and down, but I do think I think Ryan Howard is on her way to being a perennial all star. Like I think she'll be in those conversations for she'll be in the conversation every season. And I do think it's only up for here from here for her. The problem with the dream season and the reason that we ended up finishing as the eighth seed and being swept by the would be champion New York Liberty in the first round. The Dream had the worst offense in the W. And that didn't come as a surprise to me because this, I feel like why I appreciate what Coach T was looking to instill on the defensive end, the offensive process was so scattered. Is that the word that I want to use? Like throughout the
Seems
whole
like a good word
season.
to me.
Yeah. Because it seemed like there was a lot of directionlessness in the offense. It was almost like especially the games where we didn't have Jordan Canada, and she did miss a significant portion of the season. But especially in those games without her, it got to a point where offensive possessions would end with Ryan, please do something. Tina, please do something. And in order for as competitive as the league is, and as talented of offensive pieces that we have, there wasn't enough structure on that end. It looked like it looked like everyone was kind of making it up as they go offensively. And that's not to say that they weren't in the huddle drawing up plays. It just it just there was something that was not clicking. There was a disconnect somewhere on the offensive end. So that was that was the most glaring issue for me this season. And there were a lot of possessions where we just weren't taking enough shots. Throughout the process again, we weren't taking enough shots. Like it doesn't matter that you have talented shot makers if it takes your offensive possessions too long to develop. There's nothing wrong with, you know, trying to read your defense and, deciding what you want to do from there. But too often it was taking the dream too long to get into whatever action they wanted to get into on offense. Because at some point, with that much talent, you're supposed to be able to make the defense play your game. And there wasn't enough for that.
I
oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
um I didn't know that the Dream were last in offensive rating. That is a little embarrassing. I felt like the Tanisha, like, I mean, I feel like we all saw it coming, but like to have both Ryan Howard and Tina Charles on your team and you're last in offense, I don't like that. That doesn't even like that sentence doesn't even really make sense. Like, oh, like, and I mean, you also have that doesn't even include Alicia Gray, Cheyenne Parker, who was an all-star last season. You added Aerial Powers. Like it doesn't make looking at like the people on the team like that doesn't make sense. Um, that is so concerning. I did not know y'all were last. Like y'all were not taking enough shots. Like we already knew that, but last is crazy.
Yeah. A couple other numbers that are related. Um, we were second to last in true shooting. We were last in effective field goal percentage, and we were second to last in pace. So, but on the other side, we were top three in defensive rebound rate. In rebound rate overall, only the Liberty and the Sky were better on the glass than the Dream. We didn't really turn the ball over. We were like top five in turnover percentage. It was just the offense was too slow. Like there was no, it was just like, and I remember during the season we talked, and I was saying I appreciated having Tina because during those possessions where the offense would get bogged down, they'd be like, okay, so Tina just take a shot, and she was the one who was willing to do that. The problem was that was happening way too much. Like you got to be able to get your shooters open. You got to be able to draw up plays for like you got to be able to get Leash coming off screens, or you got to get Ryan Howard going downhill, Jordan Canada driving and kicking out. Let Haley Jones get to her top whenever she's coming up the bench running the offense, and there wasn't enough of that. I appreciated the defensive intensity. I appreciated how well that we rebounded, but they were just the offense was a huge problem. Which is why I'm not surprised. I know we'll get into this, but that's why I'm not surprised that the direction they went in with looking for a new coach, they went in that direction. I'm not surprised by that.
And you speaking on percentages, I looked, they were last in field goal percentage per game. Uh, they were the only team that shot under 42% from the field as a team. Um, and they were second to last in three-point percentage as a team. The only other team that shot worse than them from three was the Seattle Storm. Um, but them and Seattle were the only teams to shoot under 32% from the three-point line. Uh, so yeah, it's a pretty nasty uh to say. Like Jemay said. I mean, when you have Ryan and Tina Charles and Alicia Gray and I mean technically Jordan Canada, but I know she missed a large part of the season. But like things should be easier and they just weren't easier. Um, one positive I did enjoy is how much people fell in love with Alicia Gray in the middle of the season after the All-Star break. And like, we spoke about representation and just letting people tell their story and like people will fall in love as they may. But like all she did was just talk and people heard that country ass accent. It was like, you know what? I really like her, and understandably so, because she's an extremely likable person. So her winning the three-point contest and the skills contest and getting her some bread and seeing all the WNBA players being like, "Well, next meal is on you now," was cute. Um, I'm excited to see how they look next year with a more offensive oriented coach. I think on the season preview, or when we did the preseason power rankings, I had them at like fourth, I think, or third, something. I don't know. I had them pretty high. Uh, I
I
just
said Jay had him at 4, you had him
Yeah, I
at
know I
5,
had
and
him.
I
I know I had him at 4.
I expected a lot of things, so seeing them not feel those things was kind of hard. But they have the pieces to be successful. Uh, we just need to. I mean, we'll see how the chips may fall, but they're not. I think they're in a better position than a lot of teams, or than a lot of like younger teams, because they already have their piece. I think a lot of teams are still looking for their star player, and the Dream luckily already have their star player. So it's just a matter of what complementary pieces you add. Do you get a second star, or like how do you add a second star type thing, or does one develop? Things of that nature. So yeah, I'm excited for them. Um,
I
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think to that point though, like to their roster, I feel like there were so many more things they could do in terms of like rotations. Um, like I'm just looking
Mhm.
at like the games played, and Haley, Nas, Leash, and Nia are the only people who played every game. Um, which is a little bit concerning, but it's like weird. And I know Cuba, she only came in after Cheyenne got hurt. But it was just like she she came in and she was like rebounding really well. And it was like you've had this lady like dying on your bench for like what reason, you know? Like especially since I think early in the season they were they were struggling, and it's like you're already struggling to put up shots. So you could at least get somebody who's like willing and wanting to rebound. You can at least get you some extra possessions to try again. Um
Mhm.
and so I think it's like interesting that she kind of just sat there. We always talk about LA not getting minutes, which just never makes sense. And maybe it's a I don't know what to do with her kind of thing. Um, but even then, that felt really silly. It always will feel silly. Um, I did like the addition of Maya Caldwell. I think she played really well when they signed her. I do wonder if they bring Aerial Powers back. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually liked her on the Dream. I do think she was extremely chaotic, but I think it was enough to like kind of keep them going, especially like she's another, Tina Charles. Like, I'm gonna go get a bucket. I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I'm gonna score. Like, I'm gonna look to like bring energy. And I think um I really appreciated that from her. And kind of too just consistently giving numbers. Like, you can kind of expect her to give 10 a game. Um, the efficiency might not be on her side, but I mean the points will be there, and you kind of need that a little bit more. Um, so yeah, I don't know. And also, um, Nas's jump this season was incredible. I feel like no one expected her to do that, and I feel like looking at her numbers, she only averaged 5, 4, and 1.
It didn't
But
feel like it.
yeah, I'm like, I was ready to say, I feel like that feels wrong. Like I feel like it should be so much more than that. Um, because she plays so well. And I feel like just with the roster that they already have, especially since they didn't lose anybody from like the Valkyries didn't pick any of their like core players. Um, I feel like I would not be surprised if this team is like so much better next season. Like I would not be surprised if they're actually a 6 seed next season, just with who they are. If they kept the same people, I would not be shocked.
Yeah, I think, and see, of course, I had them as the fourth seed going into the season, and that was me being a fan. But I really did feel like we had fifth or sixth seed level talent, like relative to the way the rest of the league was shaking out. I feel like we had that level of talent on the roster. But um, I think bringing in somebody more offense oriented because this season showed that we do have defensive personnel. And that was always the thing. Like we always had players that could defend, and we always had players that could rebound. But was yet to be seen is in the half court offense, what did he look like? Because it felt like I don't have the numbers on this, but it felt like the offense wasn't able to get going unless we were able to get out in transition and get easy buckets that way. Because it felt like if the defense was able to set, that the offense was just stuck,
Yeah.
and we weren't generating enough open shots for, and the ones that we did generate, we had players that weren't willing to take those at the rate that we need them to. But in terms of the roster makeup going into next season, I don't have much confidence that the roster is going to look the same. I feel like there's going to be a pretty big overhaul in the front court at least. I think as constructed, I think JC, Leash, Ryan, and Nas are going to be the four. I feel like
Okay.
those are yeah. I feel like those four are going to be the ones that the building blocks per se. I don't think Tina comes back. I don't think CP comes back. I I'm iffy on Aerial Powers. I enjoyed her. Like I enjoyed her energy off the bench. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she's gonna be in the plans. I'd be fine if she was, but I'm not sure. I think they might look to trade Nia Coffee, and she was somebody that I really enjoyed last season. This season, she didn't play much. Like she lost. Nas took her minutes. That's what it came down to this season. Nas started playing so well, and you had to play her. So she had to get those minutes from somewhere, and Nia Coffee ended up losing it.
I do think, like to that point too, though, I feel like she played less minutes, but like I just feel like she kind of took a step back. Um, like in terms of even intensity, like she shot 27% from three this season, and last season she shot 40%.
Yeah,
Like
I was gonna say
that's like a big
yeah,
jump.
that's she shot, and I know that she wasn't shooting as much because she wasn't getting as much PT, but she didn't have she didn't shoot it the way that she shot it last year, and I didn't know those numbers, but it that feels right
Yeah, you could see, like you could see it.
because last season, with her being a 40% 3-point shooter, you felt that like watching her play because we were the fifth seed last year, and I feel like consistent outside shooting was the difference between us being a fifth seed and us being an eighth seed, or us clawing for a playoff spot with 2 games left. And that was why I was so adamant last offseason about the Dream bringing Nia Coffee back because of how valuable she was. But yeah, this season she didn't have it the way that the way that she had it in years prior. So I would not be surprised to see them look to trade her because she is under contract for this season. But I think they'll move on. I think Nas Hillman has played so well that they're comfortable looking to overhaul the front court. So I think the front court rotation outside of Nas is going to look really different next year because without if Nia is traded, I don't think CP comes back and I don't think Tina comes back.
Uh,
Mm.
and I do want to get into like free agency and what players that you think y'all may or may not sign. Um, lastly, to y'all Nas points. Uh, it probably feels like she averaged more, or it probably feels like she did better than like 5 and 4 over the course of the season because of the way her minutes went up over the course of the season. In May, she played 6 games, didn't start any. She averaged 15 minutes a game, and she only averaged 3 and 3 with 2 assists. In June, she played 11 games, didn't start any, averaged 16 minutes, 4.5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. July, she played 7 games, started 3, averaged 5 points and 5 rebounds at 19 minutes a game. And in August, she started 7 games, played 7 games. Her minutes jumped all the way to 29, and she averaged 6 and 6. And then in September, her minutes went to 30, and she played 9 games, started 9 games, and she averaged 9 and 7. And then she played 8 games, playing in between 30 and 39 minutes. She averaged 9 points and 8 rebounds, and she shot 48% from the field. So like the growth over the course of the season was very apparent. The numbers don't, or the raw numbers at least don't show it. Like if you just look like, oh, she averaged 5 and 3, 5 and 4, whatever. But like you could tell over the course of the season, she she just got better. She made it so she had to get playing time. So what players are you looking at in free agency? Well, first, what players do you think are protected?
I think okay, so I think the 6 players were Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray, Jordan Canada, Nas Hillman.
You didn't have to protect Tina, so she doesn't count.
No, it wouldn't be Tina. I don't think it was Tina. I don't think it was CP. I don't think it was Nia. I think 98 Pots was protected because that's your first round pick. So I feel like she was protected. And now I'm stuck. I don't know if it was Haley or LA.
But this kind of goes back to my point about what we talked about with LA. Because as the Valkyries, if Letitia Ament here is available, like I just don't see why like you wouldn't pick her. Right? Like I don't, especially given like the people that they have on their team. I just don't understand why you wouldn't like if you're gonna take a swing at anybody. I feel like she's the obvious choice of like we can work some out here. Like there is something here that we can figure out.
Yeah, I feel like LA is an upside swing type of player because I mean she hasn't she hasn't proven to be anything yet. But there's so much potential there for her to be a valuable player. And she's already shown flashes on the defensive end when she did play. There wasn't much from her in terms of offense, but the defensive intensity pops out at you whenever she does play. So that was I would have understood if they took her. So I don't know if it was Haley or LA, the sixth player that was protected. But
Do you? So you? So they did take Repair.
yes, Ileana Rupert was the pick.
Would if you were the Valkyries GM, would you have picked Haley or Letitia over her, regardless?
I think I would have picked. They picked it, Rupert, but I would have put Kubayev over her. Like, I mean, not to say Rupert is bad, but like of the choices that of the perceived choices, I don't know why you wouldn't like if a Letitia is available, why you wouldn't pick her. Like even Haley, like I feel like, and obviously I'm a Haley stan, so I'm gonna stick beside her. But like also, just given who you have, like I really want to know the Valkyrie's thought process because like none of these people, I don't even feel like these people go together. Like nothing about them work together. Um, but so even so to that point, like I would understand picking a Haley or LA, a Maya Caldwell. I don't know. I just don't understand the Rupert pick. I mean, again, but I mean, I said the other day that they probably was just picking people who's cheap, um, because that's what it looks like. And Rupert didn't even play this season, so like,
And Rupert doesn't have a contract either because she was suspended this season, so her contract was expired. Um, I I understand the Rupert pick. I think I think the she has a little bit more of a combination of upside and there's a little bit more tape of her in the W. So I do understand the Ileana Rupert pick. When so like I understand it because there's more game tape on her. So I get it. And I'm not surprised that she was taken and I'm fine with the Dream losing her, but I think whatever they do in the front court in the offseason is going to be a pretty big deal
Yeah, y'all making
because we got
some
a lot of
draft day trades.
possibly because I know we don't have a first round pick because it went to Washington as part of one of them trades. It might have been
The Ryan Howard trade.
it was either that trade or the Alicia Gray trade because it might have been like a pick from like we traded that pick to Dallas or I don't know something like that. But yeah, I'm fine, which I was fine with. But
yeah, I don't. I
yeah,
mean, I don't think the Dream lost anything by losing Rupert. I feel like that kind of worked out in y'all favor a little bit. Um, because I mean, taking any of the other people I named would be like you wouldn't. You're not losing like a star player, but there is like from an offensive standpoint that there is like potential there to do more with a new coach. Um,
yeah, I think from the GM's perspective, he's probably looking at it as it's not a player that I spent a pick on, and it's not a player I gave a big contract to. It was a flyer that we picked up on a free agent contract because of the upside, and she didn't come over last year, so she wasn't in the rotation.
Yeah.
So that's something you live with.
So
Yeah.
what players are you looking for, or what type of players are you looking for in free agency?
A big, multiple bigs, actually. Um,
You don't try to
I remember.
you don't try to keep Cheyenne.
I don't think they do. I like Cheyenne. Like I really I enjoyed her minutes. I know that she got hurt this season and she missed like the last portion of it, but I I enjoy what she brought. But I'm not. I don't know if they bring her back.
I
I
just
would
think
not be
she
surprised.
play next to
I
Tina.
wouldn't be surprised.
But anyway, I don't know.
Yeah. See, and I don't think Tina comes back either.
I don't know, she
I
like
say
she left the vibe in Atlanta. I wouldn't be
maybe,
surprised if she's back.
maybe,
I
and
feel like
I
she's
would
gonna
be
come
okay
back.
if she wanted to stay. I would be like, let her ride off into the sunset with with a mimosa. But the free agents that I'm looking at, and this is like different scale because of money reasons, but low end Leah Rue, high end Bree Jones.
Hmm. I would. I might take a stab at a walk or Queen. Obviously Natasha Howard too. Like,
Right, right, and that's and I know that I say this every with everything we talk about. Everybody need to call Natasha Howard. Like you at
absolutely
least
do. They absolutely
everybody is going to ask, do you want to come play here? Because yeah, but yeah, I think just give me a shakeup in the front court. I would love to have a defensive anchor like Bree Jones.
What? So if you got Bree Jones, what are you projecting your starting lineup to be?
Um, JC, Leash, Ryan, Nas, Bree Jones.
Maybe my fourth seed projection was just 1 year too early. I might need that. We can run that, but we can run that preseason power rankings Atlanta fourth back. Yeah, but I need that.
That would be fun.
Jones in Atlanta. Hmm. I don't know. I feel like you can't really lose with Bree Jones. So like I'm in, that's my girl. I'm gonna stick beside her. Um, but I don't that sounds so like it sounds kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like there's
I
a
just
very
want
good chance that could happen if Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Barner leave Connecticut. Like, I feel like if they leave, then everybody is like finding different spots, or at least it's just gonna be like I think it might just be Marina and Dejanay, and everybody else figuring that out. Marina, Dejanay, and Ty Harris.
And oh no, they still
I
got
don't
her.
know,
Hey, look, they might
and they still gonna find a way to win 27 games, knowing how they get down.
Bree Jones in
yeah,
Atlanta.
Connecticut. I'm It's one of them teams where you say you never count them out just because they find out a way. They'll find a way to get you 25 wins. Like it don't matter. It feel like it don't matter who they
Somebody's going. I don't know. Going to be the next MVP candidate they got.
got.
She gonna come out the
No,
Like
woodworks
low
with
key
a
though, because
bag.
Ono really has a very solid upside. The only thing that like she's similar to LA to me because they both be just doing silly shit. Like, why are you traveling? Like you're 25. Let's stop. Let's stop doing that. But I feel like that's something you can work out. That's something you can work out. Just they just be a little nervous early on. Um, but like low key, she really could like turn into something. Um, yeah. Yeah, I don't know like who y'all would get though. Like, I mean, like letting go of your whole front court because at this point you only got Nas
yeah.
in LA, maybe if you want her to be, the four. But I feel like she might be better off playing a wing. But um,
I think I prefer LA at the four, but and I guess this is gonna come down to Coach Carl because I know that he's gonna want to have spacers out there too, and whoever they bring in to be the five to anchor the defense, and then having a player like LA at the four who can switch and guard multiple positions, I think that'll be helpful too.
I will say I wonder like if I like looking at the overall stats for the team, nobody averaged more than like a block. Like everybody was
Mhm.
under like a half. Um, and I wonder if LA played more minutes if that would be different.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that could be that could make a difference too.
Free her till it's backwards.
I don't know, maybe Carl got a plan for her.
I never
I
forget.
need to see how he does this though.
I never forget seeing her All-Star Weekend and like she was walking in and I was like, oh my God, is she should be here. And she did not want to be talked to at all. So I was like, well, let me just act like I ain't see her. She, like she looked at us and she just turned away and I was like, oh, all right, I know what that means. Like I fucked up. You weren't supposed to see that. Uh, Jay, I know you said y'all don't have a pick in the draft, but
Well, in the first, yeah.
in the first, if
Yeah.
let's say you did make a draft day trade for a pick, what player would be the most interesting to you?
Bring me Cheyenne Sellers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see I would love to see her behind Jordan Canada, like seeing the way that like training her up to be able to run the offense.
He also could be really fun off ball.
Very, very. Because I know that she's a great playmaker too. But I would love this off the ball. I can see that too. Like I want to see like have her coming off screens, like shake up the way that the offense is being run.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
it's
I'm it's like I don't know. I'm like maybe I'm delusional, but like
I think y'all can
I'm
get her, like low key.
yeah. No,
She
I
don't
do.
she don't really got good PR right now. Like she don't
Yeah.
really have any PR. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is really thinking about Maryland because they think they're a fluke right now. Which that they're playing themselves. But that's okay with me. I would like to see Cheyenne fall. Let her get to Atlanta. I
Oh,
think
I'm looking at three different draft boards right now, and none of them have Cheyenne going in the first round. So
exactly.
you
Exactly.
listen. You may not have to make a draft day trade.
Maybe not. I don't know. Because like this one I'm looking at, they got her at 13
Hmm.
and we pick at 18.
This
But
one on NBA Draft Room has y'all picking her at 18. Funny enough.
I would see. I wouldn't even look at that. Because this one I'm looking at, they got us at 18. They got us taking Layla Philia.
Bitch.
So if you in a draft situation, you would prefer a guard.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like for a big, um, I feel like go big in free agency, go guard in that draft.
Okay.
I don't even know what big you would want, and I don't know who this. I don't know who this person is. There's somebody from overseas on here.
Is it Dominique Malonga?
No, it's
Oh,
Asia.
cause oh, okay, yeah, yeah. She's
Um,
like, yeah, they project her as like a big wing too, because she's like, I know she's like 6'4", but they project her as a like she can handle the ball a little bit.
so maybe what's the lady name? Name from New
Really.
York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know who you think. I know who you.
I get. I
I
don't know
know.
why. I don't know. Why I'm
Hold on,
blinking, but
I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you in a second. I'm gonna tell
yeah.
you in a second.
Go.
Um,
You know, though, Sanaya could be really fun for y'all too.
I considered Sanaya Rivers too. I do think she's a first round pick though. But I would enjoy Sanaya Rivers in Atlanta too.
I think she could be fun. Yeah, I do. I mean, I do think she'll go first round, but you never know. You know what I mean? You really never know. So
Looking at this,
The only fee bitch is who you were talking
yes, nice. I don't know why I couldn't remember her
the
name.
unsung hero.
Exactly.
about. Yes.
Looking at this draft order just reminded me that the Liberty have the Mercury's pick. So uh
Yeah.
Tankathon has them selecting Anissa Morrow. And if they get Anissa Morrow, I'll be so mad.
Yeah, it's a pick swap, I think. Because
Yes.
I think Phoenix gets their pick. Yeah.
How did this happen?
New York getting Lisa Morrow.
The draft is so funny because
This is all fake. Like none of this is gonna
yeah,
happen.
it's like the draft is so the draft is so funny because you'll be like, now how did yeah.
Or is it outside of Page going number one? There's literally nothing else that could happen. Everything else is good luck.
Yeah, and if nothing else would surprise me, I'd just be like, you know what? Because I remember at one point I was like, nah, it's no. Because I think I mentioned this on Blue Sky before. I was like, there's no way Anissa Morrow falls to pick 7, and people were like, I don't know. Like it's a possibility because you look at somebody takes an upside swing on Malonga, who I think does have star upside, but she's just kind of a relative unknown. But somebody take a swing on her. You got Kiki, Olivia Miles, AZ, Sonya Citron. Like that's that's fixed right there.
Yeah.
And
And Sonya
Anissa
Starr
too.
has excellent PR right now.
Yeah.
Just great
And
PR.
Anissa. And you know, those 6 go and then Anissa is on the board while New York is picking.
I
Who
don't like
did they
this
get last
timeline.
draft? Who did they get in
So
2024?
they took Who did they take?
The
So-
Queens, the Liberty. Oh, Marquisha.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, Marquise Davis.
Which was actually a good pick.
No,
I,
it was. It
I
was. I mean, they kind of they had her on ice this year, but they didn't really need her.
yeah. I said the minutes that she did get, I was like, okay, like you can kind of tell that she's like learning and she's kind of growing. Um, yeah, honestly, I feel like she really should have just been under Benaj's wing. Honestly, she could really be a better KT or
Yeah,
KB.
and I think they were mentally preparing to let KT go, and I
Mhm.
think picks like this and them taking the swing on Leone Phoebus, and that obviously paying big dividends for them. I feel like those moves were kind of a precursor to that. They're like, we're probably this is probably going to be KT's last year. So they were like, we're just gonna bring in all the wings, and one of them is gonna stick, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would love for Cheyenne to fall that far. That would be really fun. Um, I think Serena Sundell is actually a junior. But if she does come out, I would be okay with that too.
Would definitely
How tall is
would
Jordan?
definitely be okay. How tall is
Jordan Canada.
Jordan Canada?
Wait, I'm gonna guess. Is she 5'8"?
Okay, why do I not see?
5'6".
Damn it.
Oh, she's really tiny.
It's crazy. I wanted to guess something really small, but I felt like I was about to be disrespectful. But she
I
do
think I
look
know
like a
what
little
Jemay
short.
about to say. I think I know what Jemay about to say.
What do you think of my? What do you think of what I have to say?
Is it is it Rory Harmon?
No, it wasn't Rory. It
No.
wasn't Rory.
Okay.
Rory got bad PR right now. We can I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah.
But um JJ Quinterly out of West Virginia, she's 5'8". And I think she would be great under. I think she could work. I think she could work. She's an excellent defender. Um, she's like a solid, I don't really want to call her a slasher, but
Mhm.
uh, she finishes really well and she plays really well in transition. So I think she could work. The WNBA just like doesn't make sense to me, like in terms of like heights, because I feel like everybody should be like blanket 6 foot, but like they're not. They 6 foot is tall, which makes
Yeah.
sense because they're women, but like
I feel like the W allows, like the way the game plays, allows you to be shorter and be successful still.
which I think is good. I mean, I feel like some of the smaller guards like I prefer.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Like Hannah is 4'10" and she's about to wreak havoc when she gets there.
yeah.
Georgia Amore 5'6".
She she has really good PR. And I don't know if I'm sold on her. I don't know if I'm there.
Okay, so I like her, but I think the role at the next level might be different. Like the way that's kind of the way I feel about Cheyenne Sellers. I like her as a player, but I don't think she's a point guard in the W. I think she has to play point guard for Maryland, but I don't think I think she's a wing in the W. I think there's gonna be more off ball action for her. And I wonder, like you talked about her having bad PR, how much of that is Maryland is asking her to do too much?
No, but see, this is why people are looking at her PR from last season because she was bad. She wasn't bad, but she was bad. Maryland was bad, so she really had bad PR. But this season, Maryland is actually good, and she's not doing too much. And I don't think anybody has realized that she's not doing too much. Like they've played her like SPG, but she's gotten to play more off ball because they got um what's her name? She's from VCU. Bis
Oh,
I can't think of what her name is. But they got a small PG from VCU, or was it Richmond? One of the teams, a Virginia school. And she was like player of the year or whatever. So they've gotten her to play point guard and Bree McDaniel to play shooting guard. So they've gotten Cheyenne Sellers on the wing, which is like been really good, but nobody is watching Maryland play. They think that they're a fake team right now. So honestly, it might by the time March Madness roll around, people, PR really starts to change in March. It can
that's
really
true.
shoot you up. It can really, Nika Mule went from nobody cared about her to people
First
fighting.
round pick.
So yeah, so
And
like PR
and
change.
now and then people started complaining about her not getting playing time.
Well, to be fair, um, the Huskies gonna ride for theirs. So that was gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, that was kind of the same. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see her fall to 18. Um, but I don't know. Until I don't know, I feel like there's not a lot of seniors. Like I don't know if that's I keep looking at these draft boards and I'm like, are these people even gonna leave school? Like
Mhm.
What's the
they probably should, but
last
I don't know.
year that people are gonna have a COVID eligibility? Is that Hannah's and
This
Juju's
year.
draft class?
No,
Or
It's not this year?
Juju's class is done. It's
Yeah.
this
I
class.
think it's this year.
Whoever this class is last month.
Because I know people were saying like for example, people were saying Paige has a year of eligibility left,
Yeah.
she better
but
not use that.
I doubt she does. Honestly, she's like a lot to go number one.
It's like
And last year they were projecting her to go third, so she was like, I might as well stay.
Wait,
So, but yeah,
who was second?
they had Caitlin and Cam ahead of her.
Oh yeah, okay. Which was kind of crazy. I don't know. I don't know if I'm picking Cameron Brink over Paige Beckers. Sorry. Won't be me, but
In a vacuum, I'm not. And for the Sparks, I'm probably still
whatever. No, because the Sparks really need her. Anyway, we're not talking about that. But that's good. That's good for me because the Wings are gonna get Paige Beckers. I actually won out of the situation. I won.
get Arike
not.
some help.
Exactly. I win. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see who actually shakes out where because even like this past draft, I feel like it was a little like the way people fell was like kind of weird.
Yeah, it was a little after.
Like even Angel going
I
7, I
knew
was like,
I knew who the top four were gonna be. Like I knew it was gonna be Caitlin, Cam, Camilla, Rakia in some order.
yeah,
But after that, it it really shook up for me.
yeah, because I definitely think I would have expected Celeste to go a little bit higher, Kitley to go higher, Mackenzie Holmes to go higher.
Yeah.
I think
The
I
drafts
think.
away.
Oh, I was
I
gonna
was just gonna
say.
say
Oh, let me shut
no.
up.
I was just gonna say drafts are weird, 'cause they always is like that's what makes mock drafting so fun is the fact that they're stupid and everybody's gonna be wrong. So it's like that's what makes it enjoyable. It's like okay, well I was wrong about that, but let's see what actually happened.
I'm
Like
scared.
it's fun to make those projections about what players are gonna look like in certain spots.
I'm scared my friends are gonna ask me to bet on the WNBA draft again.
To the bet.
Bet what?
I remember I told y'all last time they was asking
That's right.
me
That's right. Why are
they
you
was asking
betting?
me to
Why are
bet
you
on the
betting on?
order.
Why are you betting on the draft? Call the hotline.
They were
Call the
like
call the
they were like
hotline.
where
If you're like, there's like I remember somebody said that somebody was placing bets on like the draft lottery. It's like, why are you doing that? The odds are already set. They're taking your money.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
when they was calling me, it was like, should I bet on Rakia Jackson going to the sky? I was like, I don't condone this. I think she's going, but I don't condone this. I be every time niggas ask me for betting on WNBA, I be like, I don't know, bro. I be having to hit niggas with the I don't know at the end so that
I,
when
I, I,
if
I'm
it don't
just
hit, you can't be mad at me. Like I'll give you a very detailed reason on why I believe what I believe, but at the end I'm like, but I don't know. Stuff happens.
and that you got to give yourself an out.
Like I told you I don't know. I think y'all should trade the Storm for a pick because no young player deserves to deal with whatever they got going on over here right now.
Okay, but see, I was ready to say they really got bad PR. They do. The PR is actually
Yeah, they
horrendous.
do.
But you know, if that lady is gone, it don't matter which lady you believe actually should leave. Once it's gone, things get immediately better. I don't know. Getting to play with Skylar Diggins and Nneka, I don't know. I might want to do it. I don't know. I don't know. I might.
It's gonna be crazy when we find out the issue really wasn't Jewel Lloyd, it was Jewel Lloyd mama.
And they are so messy. She is so
No,
messy.
she
Not
no,
gonna do it though.
she went to the sky thing.
And why are you front and center?
Like, yeah, we gonna find out she was the issue all along. Like
That's messy. That's just too messy,
she was
Jemay.
getting traded to the Sparks and they're gonna ban her from the practice facility.
Mm-mm-mm. That's crazy.
Well, Jay, would you like to say the line?
Yes. I believe all hearts and minds are clear.
Well, this has been another episode of Pull Up Three. Thank you all for watching our team season reviews. This was very fun. Um, more content coming soon, as always, especially with college basketball in full force and whatever else the WBA decides to do. Uh, Unrivaled is going to be going on soon. Um, as messy as that is, I can't wait till we talk about that. Uh, yeah, so look out for more things from us. I'm Paragon Don,
I'm Jemay.
JayTrent.
and we are out.